Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hope we are well. Today we have a replay from Vatira. This just happened, this game actually. We have Skyrix against the Toxic and Kernan. So thank you everyone. The comments have been unbelievable. And this was who was mentioned last. I did see the message about Genji. I will get around to doing Genji. But right now I'm sort of primarily going after twos. So I can do a member of Genji if you want. But I'd rather do a lot of twos at the moment. Because I find with twos, I find it more interesting to me than freeze. Freeze can be very boring. You can play, 20 minutes of freeze and never get a goal. And I like to see some action and some satisfaction. And speaking of satisfaction, we got a great game here. I know it's going to be good, as you guys as well. I never watched these before we watch them, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And we're going to watch this primarily from Vatira's POV as they center the ball up. Now they're backing off quite early there. Possibly could have stuck around. They're going to get the save here. Playing it off to their teammate Skyrix. Now it's a 2v1. And come to Danny might be possible. Oh my god, he's ready as well. He got what I said. And it's an own goal because of the come to Danny. You see it happening, don't you? As soon as it's a 2v1. Well, we're going to look at it. Why was that 2v1 first of all? But as soon as it's a 2v1, get out there. There's no point twiddling your thumbs. Get in there. Take them out. And there's another demo. We love to see that. Yep, you knew that was coming. Yep. Soon, you probably heard me go. Because the Vatira there is assuming, and you never want to assume too much. He's assuming that his teammate won the boost race there. Well, we don't know. And so what happens is, quite commonly, is players love playing quite fast and they play with shallow rotations because it's easy for a lot of good players to recover and get the save, but have the opportunity to at least score. But when you do such a shallow rotation, if your teammate doesn't get the boost there, you're not going to be able to make a save. So in my opinion there, in defense, keep it deep. Alright, make sure you don't cut that last part out. Just the defense bit. So there's a good 50 there. Into the corner it goes. Oh, went for the boost grab, but the demo comes in. Toxic is just going to back off here where the flip reset comes in. The pinch there gives the ball back up to Toxic. And Skyrix has got to get up there. They're facing the play. They've got to get up. They did throw themselves quite forward there, as opposed to sort of hanging and banging. And speaking of hanging and banging, they've banged it off the walls. Vatira gets demoed again. I think that's the third demo. They're getting it back when they come to Daddy. And again, they're looking for it. Challenge there from Toxic. That's kind of dangerous. I'm not sure if that's how their first goal was scored, actually. And just keeping the pressure here, Vatira. Vatira pushing up instinctively there. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Because they know that they can recover if it goes bad. Pushing it across. Oh my. You can't believe what you see in this game, can you? Unbelievable. Can't wait to see that one either. And again, you're probably thinking, whoa, David, I swear you've said so. Oh my god, is that Spanish? How did they score this? Spanish kickoff, baby. You know what I love about that kickoff is it's done from the diagonal. The Spanish often is used from the inline kickoff when you're behind your teammate. But doing it from the diagonal really catches people off guard. And it's really viable, as you just saw. Quick goal back in it. And Vatira with the open net finish. Not going to miss that one. Defender just got caught a little bit relaxed there. For no real reason either. They shouldn't have been relaxed. Kickoffs just happened. Everyone's going to be scrambling. And again, they looked for a demo play. But it wasn't the Spanish that time, I don't think. But it was just a demo. And putting the pressure on is Kernan. Good scoop up by... Oh, this is good. One of the fundamental rules, guys. So far, we haven't seen too much diving into the corners. But one of the fundamental rules, and it actually leads to a goal. One of the fundamental rules is don't carry the ball out of defense. Not if you are in line or in front of the net, because the 50 will ping up above or go directly in. We'll look at that after. This is good rotation there. I would like to see a little bit deeper, just in case. Just in case. Everyone goes, oh, God, not this guy again. I'm the only person who says it. It could be complete nonsense. No one else actually says that. Everyone else is just like, get out there. But I seem to be the only player in the world that seems to talk about this deep position because no one seems to do it. So maybe I need to rethink what I'm talking about. Going up, and that's much more like the hover method. Gets caught off because they didn't kill enough of their forward momentum there, Vatira. So did have to lean back to take it out. But much better in not committing forward into that. Either way, it was going to be a goal there just because they didn't break early enough. But it's good to see that they're not just... See Kernan there? They forced themselves forward. So now they're in a difficult spot. Toxic is going up. 2v1. Good pressure there from Vatira. Making Toxic change his plan. Either make him go up really high or make them go down. The hover method. If you ever want to see that being developed, I never did the hover method. And then Ray told me about the hover method, and we used it to get... We sailed from Grand Champ 2 to Grand Champ 3 just based off the the hover method. You see those wave dashes? I heard it right in my ear. And here we go. This could be a finish then. Oh, great save there from Toxic. Just getting onto the backboard again. Backboard defending with something we had in a comment in the last video about LJ. You know, why was he sort of not defending? Why didn't he push out on the backboard? And you can actually see that there's nothing wrong with having two guys defending. There's nothing wrong with having two guys defended, and if that just so happens, it happens. You know, one of the best things you can do in twos, and you're might be able to see it here actually if he scores this, is you want to start your offense if you can sometimes from the defense. And the reason is you get more of the map available to create offensive. When you're pushing it at the net over and over, you don't really get to create much offense. Now right here you can see Vatira has the whole map to go across. Toxic has to hit that. And if Toxic doesn't hit that, they're in a world of danger. So sometimes, there you go, and never think. Having the two defenders means you can get the defensive block or the contest as late as possible. And sometimes that's okay. Because a late contest means that you're going to get them when they're fully committed. And that means you're more likely to get that outward momentum. And there it is, 4-3. Brilliant game there. So let's have a look at this. We'll start at the beginning for this one. So right now, this is a goal for Vatira and Skyrix. Now, this is sort of what I'm talking about. And I don't know if we've covered this in any of the other episodes, actually. We've spoke about 2v1s, we spoke about overcommits and stuff like that. But we've not really talked about map and using the map. So something you can inject into your game straight away is instead of seeing the game as like, I'm just going to keep pushing on that door until I break the door down. Okay, I'm just going to keep shooting and shooting and shooting from the offensive area. Think of it like, you know what? Why don't I just try the window to break into this house? And I'm not saying you should be robbing people and breaking into houses, although it's a tough time at the moment. You know, don't start throwing that on me. I didn't say that, but what I am saying is always look for a plan B. Always look outside the box. Okay, the best way to look outside the box, just open it with the key. So right here, we have Vatira in defense and Toxic's pushing forward. The problem is here is this is all in. We've got two players and there's only two players on that team. And they're both now in the same spot. So there's no recovery here because they've thrown themselves forward. And now we have a 2v1. And this is expert because Vatira dished this off to the left. Now, what is that left-hand side? That's correct. It's a weak side. I'm guessing you guessed it correctly because it is a weak side. There's no one on the blue team there. That side is weak. It's a weak side for them. Once that's been dished off, knowing that they've got a 2v1, and they've done a lateral pass here, they can't take their time. The ball's airborne. Ideally, you want to get going as soon as you can, especially when they're in transition, especially in the 2v1. So good call here from Skyrix, going and pushing this ball at the net. And because of the 2v1, we know the exact play to make. Vatira knows for a fact, in a 2v1, I'm going to go take out the last man. And all this player has to do is get it towards the net. And at this level, it's really easy for them to do. Okay? And Toxic there, if we actually look at this from their perspective, like you can just see this falling apart quite early on. There's just no need for that from Kiernan. And Toxic here, trying to get back, gone for the mid boost. We saw something similar in the last replay, didn't we? Could they have got back faster? Let's just play devil's advocate. If they tried something a bit different, came down this path lane, keeping their eye on the ball, and instead of trying to fight with them, like, again, quite a common thing is at this level is the outside. Let's try an inside shadow on this one and see if we can, in fact, it wouldn't have gone in anyway, but see if we could jump here and just block it. Just block it. Options. All right, they're there, you know. Again, same thing I always say, these guys are amazing, blah, 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 they're better than me. So, really good stuff here from Vatira to notice that, and Toxic, not the best rotation, but in all honesty with this, or not the best line, I would say, this play just falls apart here. That's just crazy to me. Getting real carried away there, you know. It can happen. You eat a little bit of sugar before you play the game, you're intense, you know. But unfortunately now you get scored on. So this is right off the kickoff there. Great kickoff. Great kickoff. And this is exactly why, you know, we say it all the time. Push up on your kickoffs in twos. Hey, if you're out there, push up on your kickoffs in twos. Just do it. Trust me. Just try it. Just try it and see how bloody amazing it is. You're going to see a whole new light. And that's why you get these opportunities. So pushing forward is Toxic here. Gets that towards net straight away. Tries to get the boost. Doesn't get it. Now, this was the bit where I remember going like that. So let's have a look what actually happened. Yeah, okay. They get the demo, but not the boost. Now, Vatira here has to assume that the worst case scenario. And there's a reason for that. Because in this worst case scenario, it ends in a goal. If the worst case scenario here was that it only got centered and it was going to put them under a bit of pressure, then maybe you can push forward, knowing that there could be potential that we could get a goal. But when the worst case scenario is a direct shot on net, which it will be with this because this is a very common thing, you see it all the time in the game, then you never want to try for that option. Just do always the safe option. When the absolute worst case is this, we just do this. And you can see, guys, you know, I talk about this positioning all the time. To see the ball is literally coming at me. And what can I see? I can see everything. Look at this. I'm literally sat here and I'm chilling. And I just do this. I go, okay. And I look and I go, where's their weak side? This is what I would do. I'd say, where there's a weak there. And then I'd go, tink. And I just jab it into a wave dash with a single jump. And now we're here. Now we've got angle. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. I know obviously I simplify it and I wouldn't get a chance to do it in real. But it works. And it's true. You know, you can do that. But it all comes from that planning. In fact, I've got a big project I'm bringing out. I've been working mad for this. It's a 6-week course. Proper 6-week fundamentals, getting up the rank course. It's in mass development right now. So I just thought that's what we're going to be learning through that course. Stuff like that, because I want to show people if you just do these things, I know it's hard, you can really fly up the ranks quite quickly as well. But it's going to be difficult. But anyway, enough about that. So good kickoff there. And again, the cheat up straight away from Skyrix. They get the kickoff, get the forward. It's sort of like almost mirrored what we just saw on the other side. And then catching, looking to take it in field. Good idea, you know, trying to create your angles. Sometimes you have to be careful of that. And it's something that you want to take a note of. Like, okay, I've tried to push it across and they're challenging straight away and it's funneling it to the sidewall. Okay, well, is second man in a position to take care of that? Or is there something I can do to prevent that happening? Maybe we don't challenge it in the same way. Maybe we fake it, etc, etc. So you're always looking to create some sort of adaptation if you can. Toxic's on the ball here. This is just great positioning from Vatira. Gets the back boost. Now, so this is almost identical play to what happened in another game. In the last replay from the chat. So what it is, it's to do with the touch. The first touch this player has, Toxic, right? So when Vatira is coming back, this is almost identical to the LJ video. So when you're here, you can see the sort of touch they've got. And so when you're looking at that kind of touch, you're noticing that, unlike the other, it's actually similar to the other one as well. They haven't really got that ball at the right angle to create a like, they're going to have to work for it, is what I'm trying to say. In the sense that they're sort of coming at this direction, like they've not pushed it good into the field here, and they're not moving. Like it's hard to do 3-dimensional drawings with this, guys, but it's similar to the other one. They haven't really pushed it well, so there's going to be a lot of work for them. So there's a couple of things this guy can do. They can either read this, right? And so if they do make a recovery, get onto the back, but there's no point challenging it because they're struggling, and this guy's all the way at the back. And we don't want to challenge this because we don't want to win the challenge, in the sense that, okay, we win that challenge, great. If we win it, it goes to their teammate and we're still in the air. So they've got an advantage because now it's a 1v1 and they've got possession. So that's one thing to consider when looking at that, and I hope that explains it a bit better than I could do on the comment. So with this, Vatira can do a couple of things, but he doesn't really necessarily need to challenge this. It's all to do with what that player's actually got. And as you can see, they don't actually have a lot. And even at the highest levels, they don't always have a lot. So, you know, oftentimes they do, don't get me wrong, they're amazing. But I'm just saying they don't always. So, hard shot off the backboard there. Really smart stuff. And that's just something to consider. In fact, that's nothing to do with any goal. But I just wanted to bring sort of mention that as I saw it earlier. So let's get to this goal. So I always like to look at where the offense comes from, guys. The offense always comes from the defense. You know, the successful offense, the clean out play. So right now we have the orange team in defense. And again, we've got a very heavy push from the blue team. What does that mean? It means that the orange team, if they get possession here, ta-da, have map. They have a lot of map to work with here. We can smack it open over, you know, we might be able to get it over there, a free map. Let's see what happens. They get this 50, and they win the, almost perfect then. So now we've got, look at all this map we had to work with. Now it comes into the corner, nothing's created out of this, right? You can't create anything out of this. So Vatira is trying to get an angle, not really going to get one, but more so playing for the boost. Putting something around their net to get a reaction from them and just playing the boost race. It's all about that boost. Now, this is terrible defense. I'm going to say it, that's just terrible defending, and you guys can see why. So it could have been a miscommunication thing, but this is just franticity. And I still don't know if that's a word or not. I never did check, but we don't need to dive into corners. Even our own corner. We don't have to dive into our own corner here. Okay, so let's just look at, let's have a breakdown. Okay, they're both there. We've seen our teammate Kernan. Maybe we just leave it. Maybe if we're toxic, we just leave this. Dive into the corner. What does this guy do? Going for the demo. Going for the demo. Okay, I mean, it's fair enough idea going for the demo. That's actually why, by the way, when you take boosts, you go up the wall just above that ridge. That's exactly why you do it. So if you're a lower ranked player and you don't understand this concept, if you're ever getting chased by someone on a demo, quickly drive up to this part of the wall, just above it, just anywhere around this area. And what will happen is they'll lose supersonic. So they'd have to boost through that movement to stay supersonic. So just to show you that again, if you weren't aware of this, notice that Kernan is supersonic, and as soon as they hit that wall, bonk, it's gone. And literally, you can just be on this part. You can always bait people to go for a demo and they won't get you. So, yeah, a little bit of an overcommit here. Well, what happens off the back from both players? I just don't understand putting two players in the corner. Toxic desperately trying to get rid of this. Now they just need to stay there. So, this again, this is very reactive defense. They were facing a great direction just here. Just face here, like this. So imagine they're facing their back post. Maybe they now double jump or something. And let's see what Kernan does here. Oh, that's actually what scores the goal. It's Toxic's aggression here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate, but there's just so many fundamentals broken. We just dove into the corner twice. You know, what can we expect? What can we expect there? And if we look at Keenan, this is why we go deep. You know, it's for freak accidents like this. With Keenan now, we go, okay, sod that. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to come here. That's going to bounce to me, and now I'm out. You know, something like that. Again, the game's so fast. Now, I want to look at this because I believe this is the Spanish. I mean, that is truly beautiful. So, Spanish kickoff. Are these guys in a party? They're both in the party. Okay, so Spanish kickoff. If you know what the Spanish kickoff is, the Spanish kickoff is where the first man who's going to take the kickoff fakes it and goes and demos the last man with the intention that the first man hits the ball to their last man to get the open net. And we're going to see it right here. So, Toxic, we're just going to lay this down if you don't know it. Goes for the last man with the demo. The first man hits the ball away to the second man who gets the opportunity to create offense on net. So it's just a really great little play. I've used it before, and I remember actually it was on one of the tournaments. I think it was a $25 or $50 tournament we had on stream when we used to do the tournaments on stream. And it was Dizzle and Toasty. They actually won a whole tournament. They won 50 quid for doing that. So, you know, it's a viable thing. So we've got everyone off the kickoff here. It's time from the orange team. Off the kickoff again. You can't stop there. You cannot ever stop there. You can never ever, just always remember this, guys. Never ever stop when you've got a bouncing ball and you're not goal side. Never ever 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 stop. Okay? What you need to do here, and this is really an important point because I see this a lot. This happens a lot because we can never get the perfect touches again. As soon as you grab that boost, you have two options. The first is you go straight away, you just jump up and you side flip. And all you're trying to do with that side flip is waste time for this guy to get back. Because they're going to wait and they're going to get a shot off of it. But we're making it a bit harder. Or we come straight away onto the backboard here. Straight away. And then we defend the shot like that. So we come straight away. So imagine as soon as we get this boost, we come here, straight onto the backboard. And because you know they're going to shoot. And if they don't shoot, you get a free ball. You can come down and take it. But then you save it there. A lot of saves you can get from this position. But it really is up to you. And it really depends on what you've got. Personally here, I would have turned into the ball if I was at these guys' level, what I'm saying, if I could actually do it. But what I would do is I would turn and just do something on the ball, side flip to the outside. And the reason I do the roll here is, the reason I take the side flip is because I am the last man. And it's going to be really difficult for me to get solid. Like, you're going to basically, even if you get here, this could be a banger. You don't even want to risk this. I'm just going to try and waste time for this guy to get back and get into a good spot. That's what I would recommend there. It's actually a really good replay because there's a lot of action going on here. So, Kernan up. So, we've talked about the hover method. And so, when you're doing the hover method, I mean, this is great from Skyrigs. Going up for the hover method and just preventing that offense straight away. Now, the issue you've got here, this is a real shame. And I'm going to tell you why this is a shame. Because that's great defending from Skyrigs. Vatira gets the free ball. Does the right move there. We now have a 2v1. Now we don't. So, this guy, they're going to dive in as last man. That, you know, it's not the best thing for them to do. I mean, look how dangerous it is, right? Now, I want you guys to really pay attention to how he dove on this ball. He's very high up because there was a risk of a flick and he has to defend this. And this is why you should always drop the ball when in this position. Because in my opinion, that was kind of lucky that didn't just go straight on net. But Vatira here, this is a little bit complacent, carrying the ball like that. You just can't do it. You've got to drop that ball and get a low 50. And I believe you me, if you drop that ball, they will go flying over your head. It's true. So drop it, get a 50, and then you're off. So many people dive high on those balls, but yeah, that was the thing. That's what did it. So nothing else to say about that. Okay, and again, I want you to see that how this comes from the defensive area. So we've got a very heavy overcommit here. Both of the orange players are deep in the opponent's half, and now they've got a lot of map to work with. Straight away in transition because of the overcommit, they're going to go. This seems almost identical to a play earlier. Vatira has to go up, and they're not going to be able to reach it. And this all comes because of the way people play the game, the meta they use. It's very fast paced, and that turn, you know what I mean? So it's just everything's so crazy in a way. Just keep going back. Maybe we just jump and hover here. You know what I mean? Just hover there and prevent it. By going forward into this with this power, that forward bit, it just means we've lost efficiency because we're going into the play and then we're boosting, and you can always tell because there's a lot of boost to do nothing. You know, we're still straight here before the boost starts pushing us back. I mean, it would have been an amazing save, don't get me wrong, but there's many other things that could have been done. But like I say, this comes off the uber aggression here, and that's just an unnecessarily aggressive play to try and bump that guy. Because even if we get that bump, right, let's just say we get the bump, we land on that boost, Toxic still gets this ball for free. So there we go. Brilliant game though, great stuff to watch. So I just want to show you guys this. So this is 2 games in a row, back to back. I actually did this exact same move 3 games in a row. But what I want to do is I want to show you sort of what I'm talking about with coming out of defense. So right here, as I come out of defense, when you spot these guys turn, just either, like we've said before, just drop it, fake it, or flick it. And you get that opportunity every time. See how the guy dives? And then all you got to do is move the ball for the last man. It's a real simple play that you can inject into your game. And it just came into my head when I saw Vatira casually carry the ball out. So again, if you watch this from the overhead, I want you to look at this because the next play it should be almost identical. It's a set play. I use this all the time. You can nick this and put it into your game. So take the ball out, okay? Create a lateral dribble. Come down here, drop the ball, little wiggle fake, any sort of little wiggle fake, low 50. Get him out of there. And straight away, catch up with the ball, power slide cut it onto the inside. And when you do the power slide cut, because you're going inside, you have to be so careful. Because if you mess this up, they can just dunk you. So when you come around here, off this power slide cut, make sure you're always alert and ready to double jump, block that, or single jump. The next game, the very next game, you can see the time stamps, I'm not lying. The very next game, we had the same thing. So again, same thing, when you're taking this ball out, just think, I know it's not right outside the net because, you shouldn't carry it outside the net. But this is, the idea with this is you either go now or we use it as a fake. So straight away use it as a fake. Look at, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the dive. This is why I wanted to use this particular replay. Look at the dive here. Okay. Look how high they are. See how high they go? And then they just flip out the way. So it's the same exact play from the exact same wing. You could put this side by side if you wanted. Literally, see him come in, drop the ball, power slide, cut that guy, open net. You'll get it time and time again. It's the same move over and over. Something to consider there when you're taking the ball out. If you know they're challenging, just drop it And imagine if that was last man. You got a gold. Guaranteed gold. Instead, it went the other way, which is the real shame with Vatira. They actually went the other way, and they got scored on. But anyway, yeah, enough of that. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I'll be posting more about this 6-week course in the future. Really do appreciate all the support. Look after yourself. Peace out. Peace, peace, peace.